It wasn't until the man saw the paternity test report with the unfamiliar girl that he realized the beggar girl he saw earlier that day was actually his biological daughter. It turned out the little girl's mother was the daughter of a billionaire. 5 years ago, she suddenly asked to break up with him. The man wanted to know the reason, but the woman said it was because he was too poor and couldn't give her the life she wanted. Now, she was going to marry a wealthy businessman. She then shoved a pocket watch into his hand and left decisively. What he didn't know was that once she got into the car, the woman burst into tears. The truth was, her father forced her to marry the businessman for a large dowry, to force her into compliance. Her father even sent someone to assassinate the man. When the woman found out, she immediately stopped the assailant, but was stabbed in the process. Though she survived, she was left with serious health issues. All of this, the man knew nothing about. 5 years later, the woman returned with the child to find her daughter's father. The thoughtful daughter went to the dock in the evening to collect bottles, but accidentally ran into two groups of people fighting for territory. Unexpectedly, the little girl instantly recognized a man who looked exactly like the father in the picture. Before she could step forward to call him dad, a thug suddenly held a knife to her neck, taking her hostage, threatening the man to give up the territory, or he would kill the little girl. But the man didn't care. He pulled out a dart and threw it at the thug, knocking the knife out of his hand. After taking the little girl to the hospital, he immediately went to the operating room to perform an emergency surgery. When he came out, a group of reporters was waiting outside. At that moment, the scheming woman, holding a bouquet, appeared, just to create a scandal in front of the reporters. Unexpectedly, at that moment, the little girl, who had just woken up, ran over and hugged the man's leg, calling him dad. The man immediately told the little girl she had mistaken him, as he wasn't her father. But the little girl firmly insisted she hadn't made a mistake. The scheming woman immediately felt uneasy. She took out a lollipop to calm the girl down, and told the man he wasn't her father. The little girl then pulled the lollipop from her mouth, and said that if they didn't believe her, they could do a paternity test. At that moment, the man's cousin saw the scene, and immediately took the little girl's lollipop, planning to go for a paternity test. Then the little girl went to the pharmacy to buy medicine for her mother. She used all the money she had earned from collecting bottles. The shopkeeper, though scolding her for not giving enough money, softened and gave her the medicine anyway. When the man's father found out about the little girl, he angrily scolded his son, saying how could he send his granddaughter away. The man, confused, replied that the girl wasn't his daughter. The father anxiously rebuked his son for being so careless. Why hadn't he done a paternity test? What if she really was his granddaughter? Suddenly, the father suspected there might be something wrong with his son's health, and asked if he had never been with a woman. This made the man recall the incident 5 years ago, when he was with his girlfriend. At that moment, he started to suspect maybe the girl really was his daughter, but thinking that the woman was now living the life of a rich wife, he dismissed the thought. Meanwhile, the little girl, while her mother slept, went to sell newspapers. The scheming woman, through investigation, found the little girl's house. She entered and saw the woman lying on the bed, immediately recalling the photo inside the man's pocket watch. At that moment, she realized she was the woman the man had always been thinking about. The scheming woman had planned to kill her, but seeing her condition,